Good morning. Shalom. I'm Dan Gelber, and it's my privilege to be the mayor of Miami Beach, and I'm really proud to be standing on what in a few moments will become Rabbi Solomon Schiff Way. That is a terrific thing and a great honor for a great man. I've got some commissioners here. Commissioner Miners. Steve Miners here. Raise your hand so they know who you are. Commissioner David Heyman. Former Commissioner Mickey Steinberg is here somewhere. There she was married by Rabbi Schiff. And it's terrific to have you here. And there's some, I know representatives from all the other commissioners are here as well, so thank you all for coming. You're going to hear from Jacob Solomon in a moment from the Greater Miami Jewish Federation. I want to thank the family for coming. Dr. Schiff, thank you for coming in from New York with your family. Thank you. And of course, Shirley, thank you so much for sharing a wonderful man with our community for over a half a century. I'm not going to say a lot because I really loved Rabbi Schiff. My dad loved Rabbi Schiff, and I always think about what he stood for. And although he had incredible purpose and important roles in the rabbinic community, the truth of the matter is if there's any community in the world that needed a Rabbi Schiff, it is ours. We are a place that brings so many people from so many places with so many different views of the world, with so many religions, so many ethnic groups, and they just throw them into South Florida, and it's really easy to not get along. But if there is a community that needed a person to remind us that our better angels should rule the day rather than our lesser ones, it is ours, and it was Rabbi Schiff who stood proudly to do that. He was so purposeful in how he demanded that we show our better angels, not only in the Jewish community, but I think what he did in the interfaith community was equally, if not more important, in a community that had the potential to really take wrong turns. He always reminded us what the right turn was, and he did it here in our city, which was, we were so excited to have him here, but his reach was far, far broader and wider than that. So I want to thank all of you for coming out today, and I'm gonna call on our first speaker, Jacob Solomon, who leads the Jewish Federation with a great sense of purpose. Jacob, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. What you said about Rabbi Schiff is true, and there's so much more actually that could and will be said about Rabbi Schiff. He was a leader. He was a storyteller. He was a joke teller. He was a source of wisdom and kindness and comfort. He was a rabbi's rabbi. He also married me, and actually he officiated at Mindy and my he didn't marry me. But anyway, there's lots that can be said, but I'm actually going to bring a voice in from Eastern Long Island because nobody was closer and for whom Rabbi Schiff meant more than Norman Brayman. He very, very much wants to be part of this, and so I offered to share the microphone with him, and I hope that we will be able to hear him. Norman, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me well?
How's the sound? Yeah. Oh, Shirley Schiff is beaming, Norman.
Okay. All right, that's wonderful. Thanks, Jacob. There's so many words that can describe Rabbi Solomon Schiff. And for those of us who were privileged to work with him, to be his friends, it was truly a blessing. And Rabbi Schiff was more than just an individual who went beyond his rabbinical duties. He was the one that reached out to all elements of this community. He was so well respected by the Catholic diocese, by all the Protestant churches, African American churches, Hispanics, Jews, everyone. He brought this community together as one. And I'm so proud of that, because when you look around, especially today, throughout the United States, and with all the conflicts going, we in Miami, we're so blessed to have Solomon Schiff in that particular role. The Holocaust Memorial would not be here without Solomon Schiff. But I recall all of the missions that we took to Israel, all the events that we've had here in our community, and the presence of Rabbi Schiff. And let me say something else. Rabbi Schiff was a team, part of a two-person team. Shirley's there, I know, and Shirley was also an inspiration for all of our community, especially our Jewish community. And how better way to remember Schiff, Rabbi Schiff, than to have this event today. Thank you, Jacob, and thank you for the call. Love you, Shirley. Look forward to seeing you when we get home.
You got a lot of very, very happy, emotional faces in front of me, Norman. Thanks for doing that. So I'll just add another couple sentences. I know it's we have a lot of people who want to say things, but there are people here who knew different aspects of Rabbi Schiff. I look at people where we would daven together in the morning and watching him go up for the Kohen Aliyah, and I see people that he worked with at the memorial, and I see colleagues at Federation for whom he was so important, people from the interfaith community, people from the city, mayor and commissioners, and he was important to all of us. And one of the things that was so remarkable about Rabbi Schiff, Shirley, you know this well because you shared him, as Mayor said, with all of us. He made every one of us feel like we were particularly special to him. So I'll miss him as a teacher. I'll miss him as a friend. I'll miss him when he would help me with my trup or with my nusach. But mostly I miss what his presence means to our community. So in his spirit and in his memory, we're all going to carry that tradition forward. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, it's my great pleasure to bring on my former colleague from the legislature, our wonderful Dade County Commissioner, Sally Heyman.
Thanks, Danny. I dress the occasion. I wear my Miami Beach mask. I have my, whenever it's like a Jewish celebration, I try and dress in blue and white. Thank you, God. What a great day. It's supposed to rain, 70 to 90% today, but not on this great celebration. I can't tell you how honored I am, one, just to be here, but thank you, Shirley and family, for inviting me to speak. I am blessed to be a lifetime resident of South Florida, and what an eclectic population we have down here. The diversity is our strength, but at times it's our turmoil. And one constant for my 36 years in elected office, and before that in public service, was someone like Rabbi Solomon Schiff. You can count on one hand the people who are there for any and all occasion, but very special in times of not just want, but need. And Rabbi Schiff was one of those. I wore this little pin. I usually pick a pin to the occasion, and usually it's a county pin or, hey, vote for me or something like that over the years. But this one says, be a nice human. And I figured that was very fitting in thinking of Rabbi Schiff and honoring him today on this occasion. And recently I was given a Hebrew plaque, and I read it, and then this morning I was leaving and I read it, and it's like, I got to share it because this is him. This is really Rabbi Schiff. True leaders rise to the top not by chance, but through purpose and passion. That's him. Rabbi Schiff has always been a leader, not just for a Jewish community or the interfaith community, but for our community, all community. Purpose, passion, and always brilliance. And I have to tell you, I've always been attracted to go to Federation. They have great people, great food, different celebrations. I represent over 22 temples. But when it came to an opportunity to know that Rabbi Schiff and Shirley were going to be there, it was seek them out, get there early so I could spend a little time with them. And I have to tell you one last thing. I went to law school, and one of my friends in law school in our little block was Alicia. And when I found out she was getting married to a local, and she told me who it is, it's like, oh my God, this is great. She was marrying into Rabbi Schiff's family. I didn't even know the son's name, but she was marrying into Rabbi Schiff's family. It couldn't have been better. I am so honored to sponsor on behalf of the county with our partners, the city, Rabbi Solomon Schiff Way, because what is most special when we name something is that people hopefully, well, nowadays they'll Google, but they will want to say, who is that? What was that about? So this is only the beginning of what he's done and who he is and what he's about, but it'll encourage other people to take a good look and hopefully be a little kinder. Thank you very much.
So I know his name. He grew up down the street and he came in from New York. Dr. Elliott Schiff, come on up, and I'd like to hear from you, and then we'll hear from your mom. Thank you.
On behalf of Eliza, Mikey, Brooke, and Josh, and my brothers Jeffrey and his family, and Stephen and his family, I want to thank you, Mayor Gelber, and members of the City Commission. It is such an honor to be here and witness this milestone. Knowing my father, as you all did, you know how much he would have loved the idea of a street sign named after him. My father would have been so honored and touched by the recognition of his tireless love, devotion, and contribution to this beautiful city. My father loved Miami Beach. On his honeymoon here, he promised my mother they would return and live here someday. After only a few years of living up north, they moved down here, and it's been about 64 years. My father was passionate about being helpful to others, and especially to those less fortunate. He spent his life pursuing that goal. He was a director of chaplaincy since 1966. He was vice chairman of the Homeless Trust, chairman of the Interfaith Committee, and founding member of the Holocaust Memorial Committee, among many other things. As he frequently said, he wasn't a passive spectator, but rather an active, involved participant. And despite people's differences in religion, socioeconomic status, race, etc., he stressed the importance of mutual respect and understanding. He lived by the motto of helping the least, the last, the lost, and the lonely, which he liked to say often, because that was what he believed in. When I was a child, he used to take me with him to Mount Sinai Hospital to conduct the model Passover Seders. I admired how much he loved helping others, the sick, the elderly. This had a profound impact on my own career path. I became a psychologist and devoted my life to helping others improve their lives. My father loved this city and was so proud of it. When he saw something that was needed, he acted on it. A number of years ago, my grandmother would join us at synagogue. They would take her in a wheelchair. My father saw a safety issue and realized a sidewalk was needed for those that could not ambulate well. He spoke out and helped that come to fruition. He was so proud of this community that in his later years, he took many foreign consul generals all over Miami Beach, including the Holocaust Memorial. He always got amazing feedback about how wonderful this city was. He was, in a sense, an ambassador to Miami Beach. This is a beautiful tribute to my father and will help keep his memory and legacy alive. On behalf of my entire family, thank you all for such a great honor. Thank you.
Look, nobody goes on a journey like Rabbi Schiff's alone. And there's no question that his pole star is sitting in front of me. Yes, come on up, Shirley. Pole star. Just pulled that right out of it. But really, when I say you shared him with us, the truth of the matter is you were side by side with him at every step, and we're really grateful to you, not just for your husband, but for your works and your light that you shine in our community every day. Thank you.
I guess I'm a little verklempt. Thank you, Mayor Gelber, Commissioner Richardson, the Miami Beach Commissioners, the City of Miami Commission, Sally Heyman, and Jacob Solomon, the head of Federation, who changed his flight to be with us today. Thank you so much. What a special honor you bestowed on the Schiff family with this street naming. Rabbi Schiff would have been humbled and delighted to be remembered in this special way. You chose the special street, the perfect street. We live right over here. Over 5 decades, or a half a century, Rabbi Schiff was the rabbi of Congregation Bethel, the chaplain of Mount Sinai Hospital. He was one of the founders of the Holocaust Memorial. He was active in the Jewish Museum. Our sons Elliott, Jeffrey, and Stephen went to the Hebrew Academy, Nautilus, Beach High, and the Mesivta, and I taught at the Hebrew Academy. We are all proud Miami Beachites, if there's such a word. And now I'd like to quote the Honorable Ilana Ross-Lehtinen when she spoke at the House of Representatives regarding Rabbi Schiff. And I quote, "Rabbi Schiff is a man of honor, a man of integrity, compassion, humor, and wisdom. But most of all, he is a man of action, whose spiritual guidance and unwavering commitment to the betterment of peace and tranquility for all has carved an enduring legacy. He serves as a reminder to us all that we each have the capacity to make the world a better place. He has worked to unite the communities of all faiths for over 60 years and has been a pillar of the community and a beacon of inspiration," unquote. Thank you again for this honor. And as we follow Rabbi Solomon Schiff's way, may he look down on us and bless us with happiness, contentment, and peace. And may we always remember to respect our fellow men and remember Rabbi Schiff's motto, live and help live. Thank you.
Okay. Our final speaker before we get hit by some golf balls will be Commissioner David Richardson. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Mayor. And what a beautiful day it is in Miami Beach, and what a great turnout. So thank you all for being here. You know, when I heard the helicopters, I thought maybe the TV cameras were coming, the news reporters. But, you know, we live in such a rich and diverse community. And we celebrate that, and I think it's really one of our strengths in this community is our diversity. And oftentimes when you have a community activist, they stay within their community and they do the best work they can for that community. But it's so important for our community as a whole when we reach across communities and reach into other communities and learn about those communities and also expand the work that we're doing beyond, and so that we can touch everybody, because it brings everybody together. And this is so important, especially in a community like ours, because we are so diverse. Now, many of you don't know how difficult it is to get a street naming. These things do not happen overnight. We've done a few recently in the city, and it's a multi-step process. I did a couple. It takes about 8 months of work, and then we have to partner with the county, and thank you, Sally, for doing the work at the county to make this happen, because we can't do it alone. You know, the most important thing I want to leave today, if I can, is just to say why street namings are so important. You know, because some people think that we should just put a number, 18, 19, whatever it is, or a name. But street namings are so important in our community, because someday, 10 years, 20, 30 years, some little boy, some little girl is going to walk by this sign, and they're going to ask their mom, they're going to ask their dad, who is that man? And maybe their mom and dad will know, or maybe they'll go home and Google it together. And it'll be a learning and it'll be a teaching opportunity. And so the legacy lives on. So these street namings are so important, not so much for me and for you, but for the future of our community. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Mayor?
Thank you, and thank you for all your work on this. We're about to do this. Just say, you know, street signs are just things you put in the soil. The real truth is that there are very few people I can even think of in the history of South Florida who are going to leave the impression on our community that Rabbi Schiff has left, and it's such a positive one. Very few places reflect people the way we can aspire to reflect Rabbi Schiff. He was the greatest model of kindness, of compassion, of propriety, of all the qualities that people should aspire to. And he did it by example. He did it with love. He did it with kindness and empathy. And so for me and our city, it is the greatest honor to be able to declare this area, this small area, but really our entire community, because our whole community really is Rabbi Schiff Way. So let's go ahead and take care of this.
Oh, that's long past. Take a look at they're gonna do. They're gonna take the
By the mayor, Commissioner Richardson, by the mayor, Commissioner Minor, wherever you want, by the mayor,
You know, you're a better speaker than Rabbi Schiff anyway. by the way. Now I know. I didn't know that before.
you're gonna go up there. Commissioner?
Come on, Elliott's coming in. Okay, so what? All right, so we're going to first pull this off. That's just the beginning. And now, you ready? Mazel tov.
This way, let's take a group picture. This
So,
way,
family.
group picture.
All right, let's get some. Come on, Mike.
This way.
Come on, Elliott.
One more.
Let's look this way too. Thank you.
Where's the rest of the family? Let's shut her down. Come on. Lisa, come on up. Bring Maggie. Lisa. Maggie, come on up. That's your first
What's the sign?
Maggie, Maggie the camera, you know this. Come on.
Right here. Oh, months ago.
The Schiffs, do you all want to take a picture of the Schiff family?
Yeah. Hold on.